Okay. Okay, right, I want to say welcome again, everybody. It's me, Wushu Richard, or Richard Clark, my real name. Welcome once again. And in this video, okay, this is another tutorial on my favorite art software, okay, digital art software, Firealpaca, which I use for so much of my art. I do use other digital art softwares too, but this is by far my favorite because it's powerful enough and it's simple. It's packed full of tools, straight to the point, is good enough, and it's lightweight and it's good enough to use for what I want to do. Okay, so please excuse me, I have a bit of a cough. I'm recovering from the flu. In the previous two tutorials, tutorial 1 and 2, I've already covered a lot of basics. Okay, in tutorial 1, I covered using layers. Okay, I covered the basic tools, the usage of the basic tools, layers, and some other tricks too. Okay, in tutorial number 2. I actually, as you can see here, I covered blending modes, okay, and rulers and effects, and also comic page setups. So like basic setups. Okay, I'm in the process of like editing my videos as we speak. I've actually got video softwares open here. I'm actually editing the videos for you. I really hope these videos are very useful. I hope you find use in them. I hope they help you for your digital art production, regardless of which art software you may use for digital art, as well as the main thing, which is teaching you how to use this software, or at least the way I do, and the things I feel useful about it. I'm trying to cover everything the best I can, in everything, the interface, all of the tools and everything. I'm trying to speak slowly and clearly for you. Sorry if you feel I rush sometimes, or I speak, I give you so much information in one go, and it's a lot to take in, I know. And I don't regard myself as an absolute expert on this software. I'm always learning new things too, as do they seem to be always updating this software too. Okay, but I'm just covering the basic stuff here. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so this is excuse me. Oh, do excuse me there. I'm in the middle of saving files. If you bear with me for one moment. Okay, yeah, sorry, so I'm back now, and we're going to start this next tutorial, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new project. Okay, I'm just going to go to new, standard. Okay, we're not making a comic this time, just going to the basic standard page setup, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to create some basic animation. Okay, animation. Frame animation. Okay, we're not talking about the rigging kind of animation, just frame animation. This is really cool. First of all, I'm gonna have a black pen, and I'm gonna just show you something. First of all, I'm gonna draw something here. I'm gonna draw, what shall I draw? Let's draw something simple today. Let's draw a cat. Okay. Oh, bear with me, please bear with me for a moment. So I'm just drawing a cat here, not the best cat at that. And this is a cat, okay, with small ears. And he's the cat there. Just draw some simple feet. I'm getting some lag here. I'm getting some lag on the timing here seems to be a little bit out of timing because of maybe because I've got so many programs open here. I'm recording the screen, I've got video software here saving also, plus I'm saving some big files, So basically though, here we have a cat. Okay, I've just drawn a simple looking cartoon cat. Okay, I can, as I say, go in and give him some color. So let's give some white for the eyes. Let's give him a, I don't know, what color should we have it? Have it purple? A purple cat, okay? A simple purple cat. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make his eyes a little bit more interesting. Okay. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to move this cat's arm, okay, just to make things very, very simple. I'm going to go into view up the top here, go to view and go down to onion skin mode. So if you're new to onion skins, you will not know what they are, so let me explain. Click on onion skin mode, and now what will happen is if you create a new layer, this is what happens, okay? We can still see our bottom layer underneath it, but it's actually like it's an onion skin, it's only for reference, okay, basically. So basically what I would do is I would draw on a new layer, okay, and basically every time you add another layer you will see the previous layer below it. So we can use this layer. For example, I could have the cat's eyes like this, and I could slightly close the eye maybe like this, you see, okay, and then on the neck make another layer, and then, you know, maybe make the eyes closed, you know, like this, okay. You see this kind of thing. Okay, so basically you can see, you know, the eyes, but you know the rest of the cat is not there, is it? So so I'm just going to basically show you very quickly. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to make another layer. I'm just going to basically duplicate this layer. Okay, so I've made a duplicate of this layer right now, okay, which means I don't need to draw the whole cat again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to erase, okay, I'm going to erase part of the cat. I'm going to erase this arm here, okay. As I say, it's not the best drawing of a cat because I'm just doing it simply, okay. Now I can erase this arm, I can erase the arm here, you see. Then what I can do is you can see underneath, we can still see the other layer, right, the other layer of that cat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to basically you know, maybe just do the hand like this, maybe choose a few colors, choose a few colors by pressing Alt on the keyboard, holding it and then hovering the mouse over a certain color and then just clicking with your pen or your mouse on a color. So I've just selected this purple, then let go of Alt on the keyboard and then press choose the paint bucket tool, fill in those areas, okay. Okay, now let's make a duplicate of this layer. So now we've got a third layer of this, okay, a third one, and I'm gonna you know, I'm gonna erase that now, and we're gonna basically simply just draw another version. I've chosen black there, you know, and we're gonna basically just do another, you know, variation of that, so you're following the same rules, okay. And what I can also do is I can just do another thing here. I can also well, I can turn off the visibility of that, and then you know if you want to see, by the way, if you don't want to erase anything but you still want to see the layer below, you can just adjust the opacity of the layer itself too, so you can still see more or less something of the other layer. Plus also you can see the green and the red here. The green shows the next layer and the red shows the previous layer, okay. Anyway, I'm going to choose black and I'm going to move the eyes slightly across the pupils, okay. Okay, so I'm going to turn the opacity all the way back up, go to the next layer now. Choose white over here, okay. I'm not erasing, I'm just adjusting the opacity here, just because I want to still keep that there, you know. Okay, then I put the opacity back up, so we've got a mixture of opacity and also erasing, just going back and forth through those, and you can get various, you know, frames here, you see, basically, and you can get really detailed if you wanted to with this. Okay, yeah, you can get very detailed and have more frames in between. If I wanted to, I could have another layer. If I add a layer in between here, you see, I could literally draw the whole cat. But rather than drawing the whole cat again, I just basically kept making duplicates of it, you know. Now for this last one, if I wanted to, I could make a duplicate of this layer here. It's exactly the same, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a different couple of variations. Okay, I'm going to get the select tool here, this dotted square thing, and I'm going to select the whole cat, and then I'm going to go to select, and I'm going to go to mesh transform. In fact, I'm going to try something. Let me hit Control and press Z to undo that selection, and I'm just going to go to select and go to mesh transform. Will it work? Yes, it does work. Good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make a different some different selections here. Okay, some different movements. Okay, here. You know, oh, excuse me. By adjusting the points here, you see, I can get some different movements. Click on OK to make sure that that's set. Then we're going to duplicate that layer, and we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to hit select and hit transform. Oh no, excuse me, no, cancel. Select and then mesh transform, and we're going to literally just you know, make some more adjustments basically. Okay, so you know, that's basically like that. Okay, we're just making a simple thing here. So if I hit OK, you can see we have at least 5. It's not great, but you know, 5 different things there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically I can put these all in a folder if I wish to. I can create a new folder here, something I've not shown you yet previously. Make a new folder and then select all of these here, and I can place them into one folder, you know, and then move that around. But I don't think that actually works too well for this, so we're not going to have a folder for this. Okay, it may work good for art, but not always for animation. Now what we're going to do is we've got the onion skin thing selected. Okay, here under view we're using the onion skin mode, and we've got display the previous next and previous frame. We've got that selected. Now we can do a special thing here, and we can now we can actually do a special thing here. We can if we go to view, we can go down and we can click on autoplay. Okay, and we can actually resize that. It will start playing the animation. We can resize this to a full screen if we wish to. We can have high quality selected or low quality. Let it play through a few times. At first, depending on the amount of frames you may have, at first it may actually start off very slow and be jumpy, and then let it play through a few times. It will loop automatically. It will just loop, and you can just literally play it through, and it'll smoothen up, so to speak. It's set default here, 6 frames per second. I can set that to 30 frames per second, really fast, or 4 frames per second, or whatever you want to have, 22, you know, or just 2. It's really slow. You know, you can add sound and video. What I usually do, okay, is I'll hit OK, for example, and what you can do is the different things you can do. You can go to File and you can go to Export Layers. Okay, Export Layers, Onion Skin Mode, it says here. And what that will do is it will export these 5 images, numbered, okay, that you can actually bring into like another software to create an animated frame animation over some kind of scenery or something, you know, as part of a production. Now, what about then making animation with this? It's no use, right? You'll notice that, especially in this version that I've got here, we don't have a timeline. There's no timeline here, like for actual animation, and you can't really export video. Now what I would usually do is I would go to View, go down and click on Autoplay to play, and you can adjust the speed like I said before. And what I would do then is I would open up a screen recorder. You can find a screen recording or screen capture software, and maybe just record your whole screen or select just an area and just record this and save that as a video file. Once you've saved this as a video file, you can bring the video version of this, of your recorded screen, into another video software, like for editing videos. If you have any good video editing softwares, such as there are so many. You can have a Windows Movie Maker, Vegas Pro, HitFilm, HitFilm 4. I'm using a thing called Shotcut here. There's lots of softwares that I like to use for editing videos. And what you can do is you don't need to have it looping like this. You can just record your screen for a while, for as long as you need, and then bring the video clip into a video software and cut off the beginning and end and whatever you need, and mix and match lots of different clips like this to make a full animated cartoon. You can record your voice to do voiceovers if you wish to do the voices. You can add music, add effects, sound effects, add all kinds of stuff. Okay, if you're good at making music, you can make music and put that in there, and you can get really, really creative. Okay, now you may say, well, why doesn't Firealpaca have an animation export option like for video? Well, they're pretty clever. They do have something. Like if I go here, they do. If you go to File and go down to Export Layers, it will only export the layers. But then what you have to do is you have to go onto their website, or they have this other thing called this. I can't remember the name of it, but it actually takes you to this GIF creation website for creating simple GIF animations. But that is nowhere near the kind of thing that I would like to do. Okay, it's just too simple. I like to actually just record my screen playing the animation in this software, then bring the video clip into a video software. I find that much better, and you can just mix and match and make really good edited, lots of different scenes, and make a proper cartoon. Yeah, it's an option. I mean, I wish you could just straight out directly, I wish you could directly edit and export MP4 videos or whatever. That would be great from this software. But there are alternative other softwares that do animation like that. Okay. Other animation softwares are Anime Studio, which I believe is called Moho now. I've got that. Another one is Open Toons with a Z on the end, and that is actually where is it? I have that here. Open Toons, Toonz. Open Toons is another free one, and there's other things such as Anime Effects here, and also Pencil 2D. There are other options for animation, as what I'm trying to say, and you can even do animation in Photoshop and Krita also, which is also a very good software. Other softwares which do allow you to do some level of animation, which are art softwares, are it's called Real World Paint, another one, and there's another one called TV animation. I forgot what it's called now. Animation Paint Studio or something like that. There's a lot of softwares out there that you can use, but I prefer this. You've got the whole package here. It's just a case of recording the screen to make your animated clips. Now I want to show you something else. Okay, we've got our cat here, and that's fine and everything. But what about, okay, let's just delete all of that for a moment. Sorry, Mr. Cat. And let's make a new thing. Let's just delete that for a second. Okay. Now you'll see that every time, okay, let me just draw something very quickly for you now, and I'll show you something here interesting. You'll notice that with our onion skin mode switched on, selected underneath underneath view here, if you go down, it's onion skin mode is selected, and you must have display the next and previous frame selected also. You'll notice that when I have my whatever it's going to be, okay, look, this guy here, this stick figure for example, okay, when I make a new layer, you know, I'm going to have the guy, whatever he's going to do, he's going to, you know, he's going to walk or whatever it's going to be. Make another layer. You'll see that it only shows the previous layer, okay. So, and the layer before that, the very first layer, has now disappeared. It only shows you the previous layer. So let's say, for example, you know, if I'm here, and the guy is here, and then he, you know, the guy is here, and then when I go to the next layer, it only shows you that one layer behind, you know. So, you know, it's like that. See, if I go here, make another layer, see, so, you know, if I do that, you see what I mean. Yeah, if I play that now, it's going to play. I don't know what this guy's doing, dancing or whatever, walking or dancing or something or other, you know, go funky, super fast. But what about if we wanted to have a guy walking across, okay, if we wanted to, let's say, have a guy walking on a background, okay, so let's say here we have a scene, okay, the first most bottom-most layer is a tree and a house, okay, and we want this character to walk from here to here. Then what are we going to do? If we want this character to walk from here to here, what are we going to do? Because it's okay now, we can see the background, okay, but when I make another layer now, the background disappears when I go to take my first step, so it were. You know, it's only visible here. When we go to here, the background disappears. So what do we do? How do we keep that? I'll tell you how, and I'm happy we have this feature. Go up to View, okay? Go to View, and go to View, and click on, excuse me, go to View, and then go to Always Display the First Frame. There we go. And now we can always see the background behind. Okay, so that is a way around that. So you can make new layers as you wish and still work with these onion skins where it displays, you know. And as I say, you can still work with these onion skins, you know, as you do. You know, and but you just, every time you're going to have, you know, this, the background's still visible basically. You know, so I'm not doing the best walk here, but I'm just saying, for example, you can see the guy walking across. Okay, we'll add another 2 images just to show you, okay. I'm not doing the best image, as I say. Do one more, and he just walked into the tree maybe. And then I can just go here and go to View, press Auto, and you can see the guy walking across, okay, like this. You can adjust the speed too if you wish to adjust the speed, and you can do very good artwork, drawing and painting if you wish to. Now another thing I want to mention, okay, is sometimes it can be a problem. Let me just show you this. It's a big problem, okay. Let me just do this for you very quickly now. Our background is currently a very simple background. Let's change that background for 1 second, okay. My first layer is always visible, yes. Let's make it red, okay. Let's make it red, and with a yellow ground. It's nothing to do with colors either. It's to do with the amount of fill we've got in the actual scenes themselves, okay. So everything's full up. There's no transparency as such. These are just full up, okay. Got 2 funny looking houses with doors and windows here. and it's all filled in. There's no transparency, right? If I click on my next layer now, it's okay, right? We can still see it, right? But sometimes you're going to have issues where things basically don't work the same as that. Like sometimes you're not going to be able to see stuff. So what I'm going to say is basically, if you have any problems where you know, the first, see, like now, yeah, if I go to a new layer, you see I'm making a new layer, okay? I've just added a new layer. We can't see this previous layer, which is actually red itself, but it could be another color. I could make this blue, you know, for example. I can make this blue, no big deal, you know. If I go here now to this top layer, we can't see our onion skin, right? Like this, see, I can't see my onion skins because the background is at full opacity. So what we need to do is we need to turn the background, click on the background, the first layer, and turn the opacity slightly down. Enough so we can still see what we're doing. So the character is going to walk from this house to the other house, and we need to see that. We don't want our character to walk off a cliff or be walking in the sky. We want the character to walk along the ground. We want him to walk from one place to another within our scene, and that's the reason we're doing this. So we have to see some level of visibility of this layer, but we're going to turn it down slightly so that when we click on our topmost layer that we're working on, now we can still see the previous layer of animation, and we can start working for that next layer, like here for example. Okay, I'll zoom in, you can see what I'm talking about, you see, and the guy's foot's come together here and he's coming along. Okay, so you can see the previous layer, you see, always. Okay, and he's not walking too well, I know, but anyway. And then what I'm trying to basically say to you is, if I go down, you see, and to my first layer, if I just turn this right up, we're not going to see any of the previous layers, you see. And don't worry if you're on that first layer and you've got the opacity down, because you need to see what you're doing, with the previous layer being red, the following layer being green, whatever, you know, and the layers you're working on are just at, you know, full opacity. Don't worry about it, because the background layer won't be at half opacity when you view it back or when you play it back. Okay, so I don't think so. Let's have a check. Go to view and go to autoplay, and there we are. It's at full opacity still. You can still see it. Okay, let it play a few times through, or maybe jumpy at first. It'll play through and then smoothen up as we go along. Adjust the speed. If you wish to have more speed changes throughout an animation, in this method I'm saying, in Firealpaca's onion skin mode animation, then you can add more frames or duplicate frames in between, and things like that. For example, if I wanted my character to stop walking halfway through the scene, I would add some duplicate layers. That would be the most easy way to do it, at least just using Firealpaca for the main animation process before going in and editing a video clip of it in a video software. But first off, the way I would do it is I would go find my middle frame and hit duplicate quite a few times. I'm going to hit duplicate around 8 to 10 times, so I've duplicated that layer now a few times. Now I'm going to press play back, go to view, go to autoplay, okay, and you'll see that he stops in the middle of the screen for a moment. So he's walking through, he stops halfway. You could play some music, you could play some sound effects or something in the middle if you wanted to there. Okay, things like that. So adding more frames will make it will stay on a certain frame for longer. That's how you can adjust the speed. That's the simple way, at least, of doing it in this. And as I say, you can also speed things up and slow things down still. So bam, boom. If you feel he's not staying there for long enough, you can add more frames. It's a simple thing here, okay? You know, and there's other things you can do too. You don't have to always animate the character. You can animate the background and let the background pass from one side to the other to make it look like he's walking across. If you have a very large background that's bigger than the canvas, you can move that along to reveal different areas to make it look like he's moving around the scene also. And if you like, I'll actually give you a demonstration. Well, I can't do that today. I won't do that today because we already have so many frames that we've edited already. But you can animate the background too, as I say. Now, that's just simple stuff, right? So we're just looking at a few things there. Okay, that's animation in Firealpaca. Okay, I'm starting a new project. I'm just going to close that one down. I'm not saving it or anything. You can add more effects and things like that later on. But I want to say thanks for watching. I think we'll just stop this one there. In this particular video, I will not show you any more effects like with the like 3D 3D special. We've got some special things here. Like there was a seventh ruler called a 3D perspective snap, which we've not looked at yet, and a few things there which are really cool. I'm going to look at those with you in the next video. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this, looking at animation here simply in this video. It's a very simple tutorial, this one today, and I hope you've really thoroughly enjoyed it. Okay, because you know, you can make some cool animations just using this software alone, and then you can bring this into a video software to edit the clips if you record the screen, as I've said, using a screen recording software. You can use Bandicam or another screen recording software to get the scenes and edit them up together in video software. There's a lot of very cool free video editing software also out there. It's pretty amazing really, the amount of software that's out there that's free and available to use. 3D softwares, 2D softwares, animation softwares, art softwares, video editing softwares, photo editing softwares, which you can also do in these softwares too. Like this, you can art softwares. You can we've got music and sound softwares like FL Studio. If you've got an imagination and if you've got creation, you can do some good stuff. Just get typing some stories up, get inspired, get thinking about some ideas, get on Word if you want, type some stories up, think of some characters, get creating. Don't be afraid of doing some voiceovers and making some stories up for fun. If you want to create, you can. Add some music in there, make some cool little shows and get sharing. Post your stuff online or just for yourself. But you know, I think it's a great thing that we've got this power in our hands. And even just doing art, drawing and painting, I love doing it digitally. I think it's great fun. Mix and match it, different projects, different methods too. Get really creative if you wish to, or just stick to one. Thank you very much for watching. I'd love to see your animation and art sometime. See you in the next video.